Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and in today's video, I want to highlight the top 5 best pre-built gaming PCs that are available on Amazon right now. As you guys are probably aware, usually circumstances will have it that it is better off that you build your own PC. I think it's important to know the ins and outs of building a PC, but there are times where a pre-built computer is a good option. Sometimes the pricing is really good. The fact you get Windows 10 right out of the gate, that's a big benefit. Sometimes the deals are just really good. That usually isn't the case, but pre-built computers do tend to go on sale pretty regularly because the regular price is just so extremely high that it's kind of hard to sell people on it that, yeah, then they'll start lowering the price a little bit. But usually, more often than not, again, it's better to build your PC. But I'll be perfectly honest, the PC, my main PC, it originally started out as a pre-built computer. I got it during the height of the crypto mining craze, and buying your own PC, building your own PC, I should say, was just so crazy that I ended up getting a really good deal. I got like a crazy good deal on my PC when it had like a GTX 1080, a really high-end i7, and I ended up paying like a little over $1,000 on it, and GTX 1080s were like stupid expensive at the time, but that was a different climate. But I know some of you guys would rather just have the foundation of your PC right out of the gate instead of building it. Whatever the case may be, you don't have to explain your reason to me, but I know some of you guys are in the market for it, so I've picked out 5 PCs that are available on Amazon. A lot of these are on sale, so always be on the lookout. Check out whatever good deals are available. I'll probably update this series every month, maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how quickly I notice prices fluctuate. Links to all of them will be in the description box, and do keep in mind that they are Amazon affiliated links, so if you do utilize them, I will get a little bit of a kickback that I definitely do appreciate, and that helps support the channel, so thanks for that. Without further ado, let's get right into it, and let's start off with the cheapest PC, the CyberPower PC Game Master Gaming PC. I don't even know how they come up with these names. Whatever the case may be, it's got an AMD Ryzen 5 1600, 3.2 gigahertz, which is pretty good. The Ryzen 5 1600 isn't great, but it definitely fits the bill at this budget. If I was building a PC around this budget, let's say it was $520 if you factor out Windows, a Ryzen 5 1600 or a 2600 is probably what I would end up getting. An RX 580 4GB is also in there. Would have ideally liked an 8GB, but a 4GB will definitely suffice for 1080p gaming. You've got 8GB of DDR4 RAM, that's pretty good. 480GB solid state drive, and no hard drive in this one, so that is something you are probably going to want to add. Some of you guys are going to be able to get away with a 480GB SSD, but for the majority of you guys, I would highly recommend adding a Western Digital WD Blue. That would be a terabyte, and that'll run you back like $40. Otherwise, I know some of you guys are crafty and you can get by with 480GB, so I'll leave that up to you guys. And of course, you've got Windows 10 in there as well. As far as performance expectations, at 1080p, you're probably looking at playing the majority of games at pretty good settings and pretty good frame rates. Older games, of course, you're gonna blitz right through them. If you're playing like a CSGO or League or something, or World of Warcraft, you'll be absolutely fine. Higher end games, let's say you pop in a Witcher 3 at 1080p, it will run fairly good on it. Witcher 3 is like 4 years old at this point, 5 years old actually, 2015, yeah. So that's probably not the best comparison, but even a game like Resident Evil 2 Remake, Devil May Cry 5, those games will run relatively well at 1080p. That is the resolution you're shooting for here. $620, I would say, is a pretty good buy. All right. Got a couple of $750 PC options here. The Skytech Blaze 2 gaming computer, the PC desktop with a Ryzen 5 2600, a 6-core 3.4 gigahertz processor, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1660, 6GB, 500GB SSD, 8GB of DDR4 RAM, and a Windows 10 pre-installed. So that seems to be the gimmick with a lot of these PCs that are coming at a cheaper price point. They are factoring out a traditional mechanical hard drive, which I think personally is important to have, but some of you guys are going to be able to get away with it. $750, all things considered, for this, I think is pretty good. The 2600 offers a lot. The GTX 1660, if I can look up the price of that real quickly, let's see what that's going for right now, standalone. So you're looking at $210 to $230. So for that, let's say putting in a $210 to $230 GPU and a $650 build, again factoring out Windows, yeah, that sounds about right. Could we probably fit in something bigger? Maybe, but that is nearing the threshold. 500GB SSD is pretty good. 8GB of DDR4 RAM, again, that'll suffice for pretty solid 1080p gaming. Might be able to push 1440p, but again, at this budget, most of you guys are probably looking for 1080p. There's also the CyberPower PC Gamer Extreme VR Gaming PC. I don't know why they illustrate VR Gaming PC. I'm gonna guess some of these labelings on Amazon is just to, you know, bait in casuals or whatever the case may be. Intel Core i5 9400F at 2.9 GHz, so that is really a bummer. NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1666GB, 8GB of DDR4 RAM, 240GB solid state drive, and a 1TB hard drive. So this is pretty good outside of that CPU, which is still gonna suffice at the end of the day. That is a 6-core CPU on the B360 chipset. 8GB of DDR4 RAM is good. With both the 750 options, it would have been nice if they were 16GB of RAM, but that's not a deal breaker. That's not like world ending or anything like that. This one, it's really nice because you do get an SSD and a 1TB. Honestly, if I was able to make a decision, what would I rather have? I would rather have a 240GB SSD and a 1TB hard drive in all of these builds. I don't know if the price differential works out there. Hell, probably I would even take a 120GB SSD and a 1TB hard drive. And if you guys know me, you know how I feel about 120GB SSDs. I think they're pretty not a good idea. I don't really know how to illustrate it better, but it'll get the job done if you just have the OS and a minimal amount of applications on it. I just think that mechanical drive is important, especially for gamers that are going to be buying a lot of games on Steam, downloading a lot of stuff. And in that case, this CyberPower PC does get the job done on that. Got a $1,000 PC here. This is actually relatively good. The iBuyPower Gaming PC, Element 9260, Intel Core i7 9700F, 3.0 GHz, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660 Ti, which we'll look up the price on that in a second, 16GB of DDR4 RAM, which is becoming more important to have. It's not a world ender if you don't have it, but you're going to see with more and more games, they are starting to recommend 16GB of RAM. Always an easy upgrade to make, so it's not a world ender if you don't have 16 gigs. 240GB SSD here, and a 1TB hard drive to round it out, so that's really nice. And to look up the price of the 1660 Ti, if I had to guess, I would imagine it's around $230, $250. But let's look that up for you guys right now. Yeah, so you're looking at around actually the $275 to $300 range. So kind of expensive. I'm sure on a sale you can find it a little bit cheaper. But $270 to $300 GPU and a $900 build, yeah, that sounds close to right. Maybe I would try to finagle my way in with a little bit more of an expensive GPU. This one also does have a hard drive, as I mentioned, and at 1080p or 1440p, this is going to be a really solid build. Mind you, with an i7 as well, a 9700F in there, 4.7 gigahertz on max turbo, so that's really nice. By the way, on the 16 gigabytes of RAM here, DDR4 2666, so all things considered, for $1,000, I don't think it's the worst buy in the world. And lastly, do want to give a shout to the Skytech Blaze 2 gaming computer. This is probably the best one I see, bang for your buck. Yes, it's the most expensive at $1,100, but let's go over everything that you get. You get a Ryzen 7 2700X 8-core, awesome CPU there, 3.7 gigahertz. You get an RTX 2060, 8 gigabyte, that's a super GPU, so that's really good. We'll look up the price on that, and a 500 gigabyte SSD. Where they kind of kick you low is you don't get a hard drive here. Come on, $1,100 and no hard drive. Yes, it's not a world ender here because you can pick up a hard drive standalone, and it is really cheap. Hell, the majority of you guys that are watching this video, you probably have a hard drive lying around somewhere. You might have an external whatever, but 1 terabyte mechanical would be really nice. 500 gigabytes. You know, back in the day, a lot of people were building $500 PCs with a 500 gigabyte hard drive, so it's not like a 500 gigabyte SSD is a world ender. I keep saying world ender, but whatever the case may be on that, the difference is games nowadays are so much bigger than games, you know, in 2010, 2011. Can you download games? Can you still manage all your content? Yeah, you can on 500 gigabytes. It's just me personally, that is going to be a little bit limiting. However, you get 16 gigabytes of RAM in there, and you do get Windows 10 as well. And let's look up the price of the RTX 2080 Super right now. Yeah, so you're looking at $350, $400, so you're talking about a pretty expensive GPU, and one that would probably fit into this build rather well, all things considered. So I think this is a really good option right now. Hard drive not included, that's a bummer, but all things considered, this is a really good build for 1440p gaming, maybe even a little bit 4K lower end games. Higher end games at 4K are going to struggle quite a bit with the 2060, but you get a really good CPU in there as well with the Ryzen 7 2700X. So that's going to conclude this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you guys liked my insight. Pre-built computers is going to always be something that is a little bit controversial, especially to my audience, that I know the majority of you guys are well versed into building your own PC, but nonetheless, there's good deals available if you look hard enough, and a gaming PC pre-builts those prices fluctuate all the time. So by the time you guys are watching this video, prices might be different. It even notes that the Skytech Blaze 2, the last PC I just went over, the $1,100 one, the list price is $1,200, and some of the other ones are also a little bit discounted, so that is something to bear in mind. But links to all of these in the description box below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.